Welcome to the show tonight, everyone. It's Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Talking Champions live stream. Thanks for joining us. It's Ole Miss week. Got a ton of coverage on BamaInsider.com. Thanks for joining us from wherever you are. Open line in just a few minutes, 205-686-3604. Let everybody get checked into the show. Got a good one this weekend. Alabama will head to Ole Miss for their SEC opener. I think it's going to be a good game. Spread is actually 21 points in favor of Alabama. However, Alabama is 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 meetings when playing in Oxford, Mississippi. Now, myself and Tony Tsoukalis will be down in Oxford on Saturday. We'll be bringing you coverage on BamaInsider.com. Got some great content on BamaInsider.com. Also, Rivals.com released a new feature fan cast. Basically, you can go on, make your predictions in terms of where you feel the recruits are going to head from 2019, 2020, and then you can compete with the staff, compete with Andrew Bone, our recruiting analyst, and see how you stack up in the recruiting ranks. So I think it should be pretty cool. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight. I think a good place to start off with, as we always do while we let everybody get checked in, is play Nick Saban's press conference from Wednesday night. And this is Nick Saban prepping for Ole Miss.
Working with all of our players to sort of understand the standard of how, we need to prepare for a game, how we want to play in a game, standard of work ethic we need to have every day in practice, the standard of accountability that each player needs to have to be able to go do his job, standard of leadership to influence, one other person with the example that you set every day, match my intensity. And I think that the key here is, can you learn before you have to pay dues? And in terms of what it takes to play to a standard. And it's uncomfortable, it's hard, it's difficult. Sometimes the circumstances, the environment, the heat, where you play, all those things make it very, very difficult. And I think players have to have the right mindset to be able to overcome those things. Some people can do it, some people struggle. So we don't want to have a catastrophic event, all right, to get us to do the things that we're supposed to do. Now, saying all that, all right, we had good work, today. We got chased inside because of the rain. This is a kind of game as a competitor you really look forward to. Opportunity to play in a difficult environment, SEC game in our division against a very good opponent. We got a lot of respect for Ole Miss. Coach Luke has done a really good job with this program, with these players, and taken over, a tough circumstance and done a marvelous job with it. And these guys present a lot of challenges because of the quality of players they have, but also the schemes that they present on offense, defense, and special teams. And I think preparation for a game like this and mindset are really, really important to be able to go have the sort of mental toughness to sustain for 60 minutes. When things go bad, you have to overcome, and that certainly happens sometimes when you play on the road. So we're going to have to be at our best in this game to be able to have success against a good team.
All right, those were Nick Saban's comments on Wednesday. Hello, if you're just joining us, my name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Open the lines in just a little bit. I want to get your score predictions, so be sure and put them in the comment box. Alabama taking on Ole Miss. Line is set at 21, I believe. Or at least that's what Vegas has it. Game is on Saturday in Oxford. Kickoff time, 6 p.m. TV is on ESPN. It's going to be, do you think it's going to be a shootout? First game of the season. Ole Miss versus Texas Tech, 47-27. And then the second game, I don't know if you saw it. Check out those highlights. The highlights are on YouTube. You can just type in Ole Miss versus Southern Illinois. I love Southern Illinois' their mascot, the Salukis. I love that. 76-41, and we'll talk more about Jordan Ta'amu versus Tua Tagovailoa, a quarterback matchup. And get this, these two guys have the highest quarterback grade in the SEC. They're going head-to-head. Actually, top overall grade is Will Grier out of West Virginia. So, those quarterbacks doing work early on, and it should be a great matchup. I really Was impressed with Ole Miss's wide receivers. I think that goes without saying, right? A.J. Brown, probably one of the top wide receivers in the country. And then for Alabama, you got the trio, the sophomore trio, along with freshman Jalen Waddle, who's really been something special. At least we got some glimpses of what he could do in that first game. Okay, I wanted to show you guys a couple graphics, and we're going to talk about Tua Tagovailoa to lead off. So let me get Tua's stats over here, and all right, here we go. All right, so I put up a feature today on BamaInsider.com, which you can go and check out. If you're not a subscriber, you can always sign up for free 30 days. But it kind of is a deep dive on Tua Tagovailoa. 40 dropbacks, 35 attempts, 25 completions, 71.4%, 452 yards passing, yards per attempt right at 12.9, touchdown 6, sacked twice, offensive grade 90.9, just incredible, passing grade 88.2, and his rushing grade 76.3. Okay, so found that pretty interesting. And as we continue to dive into the numbers, wanted to show you this next clip. Let me get it up for you guys. This is his passing directional chart, and as you can see, 25 yards plus downfield. That's the top section of this chart that we have here. He's 1 for 1 to the outside left with a touchdown, 25 yards. Over the center, he's 1 for 1, 49 yards, a grade of 87.3, grade at 88.6 to the outside left. And to the outside right, he's an incredible 96.2 grade overall. That's exceptional. That's NFL type grade. 3 for 3, 87 yards with 2 touchdowns. See his NFL rating down there, 158.3. It's pretty incredible what Tua Tagovailoa has done here at Alabama in the first 2 games. And you can read more on that deep dive on BamaInsider.com. If you're just joining us, my name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight. Here's what Nick Saban had to say about Tua Tagovailoa just a couple days ago. Let me bring that up for you guys. All right. So a reporter asked Nick Saban, what makes Tua so effective? And he was asking him about towards the middle of the field where Tua is exceptional. And I think he's probably going to slice Ole Miss up because Ole Miss, from at least watching their first couple of games, really had a hard time stopping the slant route. And I think that's one particular area that Tua does really well, seeing the middle of the field. So here's Nick Saban talking about what makes Tua Tagovailoa so effective.
On the side of the middle with Michael. What do you think makes Tua effective throwing the ball across the middle?
Well, Tua is pretty instinctive in terms of the passing game. I think he sees things, really well. I think a good example was they ran a corner cat and the safety didn't cover the X, and he wasn't even supposed to be reading that side of the field, and he was protected on the play. It wasn't hot, and he throws the ball to Smitty for a touchdown. So he does a nice job of keeping his eyes downfield, stepping up in the pocket, and there's a couple third down plays where he bought some time and stepped up in the pocket and were able to convert on throws. And I think it's, he's well prepared, but he's also very instinctive, and he does a good job of keeping his eyes downfield to find people over the middle.
The left side for Chris Walsh.
All right, that was Nick Saban talking about his quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. I'm going to open up the phone line now if you guys want to call in. I want to get your thoughts on Tua Tagovailoa. Sorry, guys, a little tongue-tied tonight. What you guys are thinking about his early season plays. Kyle Henderson coming to you from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Line is open for you guys to call in. Want to hear your prediction as well for Alabama and Ole Miss. I mean, do you think it's going to be a shootout? Or do you think Alabama's going to roll like they did last year, 66-3? Remember that? There was a little bit of hype coming in to Tuscaloosa last year, and Alabama just certainly rolled through. Phone line is now open, 205-686-3604. I want to hear your thoughts on Tua Tagovailoa before we continue with the program. You can catch all our coverage on BamaInsider.com, and if you want to rewind the show, if you're just joining us, just simply pull back on the cursor and rewatch the show. Over the last couple days. All right, we got a call. Here we come. All right, Good evening. How you doing? It's Kyle Henderson. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Buffalo, man.
All right, man. Go ahead. Shoot. You're on the show.
Just want to talk about pretty much like my concerns. At least I have for the Alabama defense against this Ole Miss football team here. Jordan, from what I've seen, Jordan Campbell, man, he is the real deal. I have him one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the SEC. A guy that's like 6'3", around 6'4", great velocity on his balls, great touch on the passes that he throws. And, looking at our secondary, very, very talented, great height, probably the one of the, as far as when it comes to height goes, is amazing. But against this Ole Miss receiving core, with the experience they got with Metcalf, who is just a genetic freak, with A.J. Brown, probably the best receiver in the country, and with Lodge, those guys, they know how to get open. And those guys have great communication when it comes to when it comes to the quarterback. That I feel like is going to be a little bit of a problem with our defense, especially with the inexperience that we have. But it's going to be real interesting to see what Tosh LaPoy does, because we're going to see if he's going to be the real deal with Jeremy Pruitt, Kirby Smart before him. It's going to be very interesting to see what Tosh LaPoy can dial up with his defense. But I think overall wise, I think we will get the job done. But again, this is going to be a real test, because teams like Missouri, teams like Auburn, teams like LSU, the rest of those teams, it's going to be really gritty. So that's all I got to say, man. But hopefully you have a good day, and that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate it, buddy. Good evening, it's Kyle Henderson. I'm on the line. Who am I on the line with, and where are you coming from?
Hey, this is Darryl. I'm calling from Brunswick, Georgia.
All right, go ahead, man. You're on the show. Go ahead, shoot.
All right, yeah. So what I want to say is about Tua, man, is that Tua is a different animal, meaning that whenever a play starts with Tua, everybody know that they always have an opportunity, and I think that's the difference between Tua and any other quarterback. Because sometimes when you running a route, it's not a really good feeling, and you running a route and you saying to yourself, "This quarterback, he's not gonna see me." And with Tua, that just doesn't happen. You always have a chance with Tua.
I appreciate the call. Thanks for calling in. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And Nick Saban has really talked about his instinctiveness in terms of seeing the field, keeping a player alive. It seems like when he's in at quarterback, and I know they've been two platooning a little bit, it seems like it's just so fluid with Tua back there. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. Definitely a natural passer.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in, and be sure and post your score prediction in the comment box.
All right. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Take it easy. All right. Call in 205-686. All right. Here we go. All right. Good evening. It's Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with?
Hey, this is Andy from Houston.
Hey, what's up, Andy? Go ahead. Shoot, man.
Hey, man, dude, I am a Bama grad, and I went through the dark days of Mike Shula and bad quarterbacks, brother, and it is nothing like what we see now. But I just wanted to point out one thing about Tua, and it's one thing that I think people don't really realize when they look at the arm talent between himself and Jalen Hurts. I believe that the arm talent is very similar. Jalen can spin the ball. Jalen can hit receivers deep on a dime, but I feel like he's more of a one-read quarterback, whereas Tua sees things that Jalen doesn't. So even though they can throw the ball, in my opinion, pretty close to equally well, the way that Tua can dissect the defense quickly and process information so fast, I believe that is the huge difference maker.
Yeah, I appreciate the call. And the things that Tua does on the football field, are NFL-like already. And it's crazy to say that because he's a sophomore. I disagree in terms of their accuracy, because Tua has just proven numbers-wise that he's really, really accurate. Now, I will say this. It's going to be interesting to see how many reps Jalen gets in this next game, because these first two games, they were blowout plays, right? They were blowout games. Now, is Jalen going to get an equal amount of reps? Is he going to get plenty of reps if the game is close against Ole Miss? That's kind of what I'm eager to see. What do you think in terms of Jalen getting reps against Ole Miss?
Well, I think you have to think about the transfer rule, right? So, we all love Jalen. We love what Jalen's done for us. And we all talk about how Jalen's 26-2. And let's not forget what Tua did on 2 and 26. It is a big deal. So Jalen, I love him. I want him to have a future, and I know that he's sacrificing for the team, but at the same time, I want the best for Jalen. So I say, let's see what Mac Jones has. Let's let Jalen ride it out. Graduate. He's going to graduate in December. He was only 15 credits short coming into the season. Let us see what that works out, and let Jalen move on and have a great career. Have 2 years of eligibility left, and then move on.
Hey, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right, call in, man. 205-686-3604. I want to get your thoughts on this Ole Miss game. Be sure and add your score prediction in the comment box. Hello, good evening. It's Kyle Henderson. Where are you calling from? You know my thing. Tell me it's Rob in Colorado.
We're Colorado.
What's up, man? How you been?
Doing good. Just got home from work, man. Saw the show that was on. What was I gonna say? Yeah, everyone hit the like button. Just have 100 likes in here, man. This is a good show.
All right, this is Rob from Colorado. If you didn't know, he calls in. He's a frequent caller. We appreciate it. He's a big fan of Smashburger. Tonight, what you got, Rob? Go ahead, shoot, man.
Well, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. Some of these callers are calling in talking about, this is a big game. We got big games coming up against LSU, Mississippi State, and Auburn. Okay, this game. This is basically the same team. They have a different running back, a good running back, and a different quarterback. But it's basically the same team as last year.
So you think Bama just comes out? You think they cover that spread?
What is the current spread?
21, I think.
Yes, most definitely. I'm saying I give them 14 points, and that's being generous, and we're going to score over 60.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 4-hour type game. I mean, considering both these squads are going to throw it out, but 21 points. The interesting fact is, I was doing some research. Alabama is 2-6 against the spread when playing in Oxford, so that's kind of interesting considering the 3-touchdown favorite. But the way this offense is playing, who knows? But on the flip side, Ole Miss did score 76 points last week. Jordan Ta'amu certainly proving that he can sling the rock to those very talented receivers. You got anything else, Rob, before I let you go?
I got a question for you. How do you feel about? Do you think Raekwon Davis had such a good year last year, 9 sacks, a lot of disrupts, because Deron Payne was eating up blocks? Because I haven't seen much from Raekwon Davis this year, and I'm a little disappointed.
Later on in the show, I'm going to actually provide the defensive grades from Pro Football Focus. And Raekwon Davis is having a good year. I think one surprising defensive lineman has been Quinnen Williams replacing Deron Payne. And I think he's shown really good signs early on that he can get to the quarterback. Raekwon Davis, Quinnen Williams, and Isaiah Buggs, certainly a trio not to mess around with. So we'll talk about Raekwon Davis later in the show. Is that cool, Rob?
Sweet.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for calling. Enjoy your evening.
All right.
All right, 205-686-3604. I want to get your take on this upcoming matchup between Alabama and Ole Miss. Alabama, the big favorite, ranked number 1 in the country. Ole Miss slinging the rock around behind another quarterback out of Hawaii, and Jordan Ta'amu put up 76 points last game. And Alabama, I mean, certainly showing flashes that they might have the most dangerous offense in the country, right? I mean, they haven't even unleashed their running backs yet. All right, good evening. It's Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Tobias calling out of Phoenix, from Montgomery, Alabama, but I'm now living in Phoenix. How's it going?
Hey, it's good, man. I got a lot of love for the West Coast, as you guys know. I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico, so been to Phoenix plenty of times, and you're on the line, so go ahead, shoot.
All right, about the matchup with Ole Miss. Everyone's talking about Ole Miss's offense versus Alabama's defense. How in the world Ole Miss is going to even stop Alabama's offense? That's the thing no one's talking about. But I think the key to this game is, I think Tua has to play the majority of this game, not just come out at 20 plays, because the thing I believe is he's still a new starter, and I think people don't realize that, and he doesn't have a whole lot of reps. And he needs reps in those environments, may experience some ups and downs, come back from it. And I believe that's a key also to look forward to, because look what happened to Clemson last week. Trying to do a rotation in a tough road environment, lost their rhythm, other team gets hot. I just say just stick with the guy, let him get his legs, let him get some experience.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good call, and I certainly agree. I think you got to let Tua, get control of the reins and really do his thing. I mean, we've seen such a small sample size from him, and it's been incredible. But I think it's going to be really interesting when he plays an entire game. I mean, can you imagine that when you have Tua playing an entire 4 quarters, or when you have Tua down on the ropes and to see what he can do? Right now, we haven't seen that, but what we've seen are glimpses of greatness in his second year. 3-1 favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. You got anything else while you're on the line?
Oh, I just want to say this also. When people are talking about the defense and the offensive line, it's not a talent issue. It's just experience. And later on in the year, when the meat of the schedule comes up, the defensive line, the defense itself and the offensive lines will be better because they got the experience playing with each other. But thanks for taking my call.
No doubt, man. Have a good evening.
You too.
All right, line is open, 205-686-3604. I want to get your take on this Ole Miss-Alabama matchup. Later on in the show, I will provide the offensive and defensive team grades for the starters from these first 2 games. Pretty interesting stats to look at. I'm a big stats guy. I love to go inside the numbers, do number crunches, and I'll have that later on in the show. But I'm going to leave the line open for a few more minutes before we start moving forward. As I mentioned earlier in the program, we got another call. Hey, hello, how you doing? It's Kyle Henderson. You're on the line. But first, can you turn your computer down, please, so there's no echo in the background?
Yeah.
All right, man. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Max. I'm calling from California.
All right, man. I got love for Cali. Used to live out in Redondo Beach, man. You're on the show. Go ahead, shoot.
I think because Tamu, he's a really good quarterback. Last game in the second half, they were saying he had 9 drives in that second half, which allowed him to score a hell of a lot of points on Southern Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Saban wants to allow him to have that many drives, including Tua. I don't think he wants it to be a shootout. I think what's going to happen is he's going to put Tua in. He's going to score, first few drives, and then he's going to put Jalen in, kind of like the last game, and just to have him control the game and kind of just run out the clock. I think that's going to happen.
Well, I appreciate the call. I don't know. I have a feeling that Tua's going to play a significant amount more this coming game. I just have a feeling that, game in Oxford, I think he's really going to get his feet wet. Jalen's played 2 games. It'll be interesting if he plays 2 more. That will be past his red shirt. But I appreciate the call. Thanks for calling in tonight.
Yeah, man. No problem.
All right, take it easy. 205-686-3604. You guys think Jalen plays more than 5 games this year, more than 4 games, and uses that? Do you think he plays every single game? How do you think Nick Saban's going to manage this? Do you think that there's going to be a time where Tua's just the quarterback during the whole game? We see Mac Jones come in, or do you think we're going to continue to see this 2 platoon? I mean, you got to think that we're just going to see Tua, especially when the game is really on the line, right? All right, good evening. It's Kyle Henderson. Who's on the line and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is DJ from the chat.
What's up,
I'm calling
DJ?
from Ohio.
Oh man, good stuff. I like your post. So go ahead, DJ. You're on the show, man. Shoot.
Hey, I just wanted to comment on the offensive line, defensive line. I like what the past caller said about they're going to improve during the year. And I think our secondary got a chance to be one of Alabama's best. And I think they're going to shut down Ole Miss wide receivers.
Yeah, it's going to be a great matchup, and I think I'm really looking forward to Ole Miss's wide receivers going against Alabama's defensive backs. One guy that I really want to watch is Patrick Surtain, who's played an incredible amount this year as a true freshman. See if he can match up with some of these long and lanky wide receivers from Ole Miss and see what he can do in his true freshman year. Deontay Thompson, you got him as a ball hawk in the back. Shaheem Carter, we've seen what he can do returning an interception for a touchdown. Savion Smith did the same thing last week against Arkansas State. There's plenty of guys back there, even Xavier McKinney. So you got the talent back there. There's a little bit of inexperience, but I think this is just the game they need to really get their feet wet moving forward. Would you agree with that, DJ?
Oh, yeah, I would agree. I think we probably got the best safety duo in the country probably right now with with Xavier McKinney and Thomas back there. And then I also think PS2, I think he's going to shut down AJ Brown.
That's a tall order for PS2, but I appreciate the call. Thanks for following, DJ. Have a good night, man. All right, take it easy. All right, DJ always bringing the good stuff. Yeah, it's going to be, Patrick Surtain, I just really like his game as a true freshman, and he's played the most snaps out of anybody, out of any other freshman. So the line is actually 22. Just got an update from my uncle who lives out in Vegas. So that's a line for Alabama and Ole Miss. So it's Alabama's a 22-point favorite. I don't know if you're going to take that or not. That's an interesting one. Call into the line 205-686-3604. Talking Alabama versus Ole Miss. Actually, I'm gonna shut down the lines just for a second, and what I'm gonna do is show you guys the offensive grades real quick, okay? So I'll turn the line back on in just a few minutes, but just hang tight just for 1 second because I want to bring you guys these offensive grades, okay? All right, let me bring this up. Gotta do some video magic on the other side. All right, what I'm going to show you now is these are the offensive grades for Alabama through 2 games. So you have, and I have it sorted by total, and that's total number of snaps. So the on the far right is the offensive overall grade, and the higher the grade, the better the player has fared in those 2 games, because I like to add it based off the most snaps, if that makes sense. So Rosh Pierce-Barker up at the top, 127 total snaps, and his offensive grade is 74.9. Okay, so you can just look at it as 90 is like a A, anything under is a B, and then so forth, right? Jonah Williams, no surprise, at left tackle, 87.8. Lester Cotton. So in those 3 guys are on the left side of the line, right? You have Lester Cotton, who's been having a great year. Nobody really talks about him, but look at his grade, 82.7. Alex Leatherwood with a 65.2, and Jedrick Wills, and that's the inexperience that you're going to see on the right side of the ball, which is concerning because Alex Leatherwood and Jedrick Wills, Leatherwood being at guard, Wills being at tackle, that's Tua's blind side, right? And those guys are sophomores. So, and there was a couple plays, if you watch against Arkansas State, where Arkansas State got right past Leatherwood and Wills, and against Louisville as well. Devontae Smith, sophomore, 75.7. grade out. He's having a really good season. Henry Ruggs, just a tad below, and I want to see Ruggs get some more targets. So far, I don't think we've seen what he can do because he's just electrifying when he gets to football. 67.7 for Ruggs. Jerry Jeudy, high grade out, 79.8. I mean, I think everybody knows that's Alabama's next big-time wide receiver following guys like Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, and Calvin Ridley. Tua Tagovailoa, look at that. 90.9 offensive grade through 2 games, and he's only had 76 total plays. Hell Hintage, Alabama's tight end that they like to use for downfield blocking, and some in the red zone type stuff. 64.2, not the grade out I was expecting to see. And then Irv Smith, the player that I really like. I actually have Irv Smith on my college fantasy football team that I play on Yahoo Sports. Grade out of 78.0. I think Irv Smith is a wonderful addition to the offense. Now I'm going to bring up the defensive grades. You guys liking the grades? Comment if you guys think you guys like the addition of me adding those grades in. I want to just get your take and get some feedback from you guys. Going to add this now. Let's see. Okay, these are the defensive grades. And this is, again, sorted by players who have played most. Xavier McKinney up at the top. Played 114 snaps, 64.9 grade out. Needs to improve, obviously. Savion Smith, I think he's really stepped up in these first couple games. Grade of 76.0 is going to have his hands full this week, but I think he's up for the task. Deontay Thompson, 92.3. Really impressed with his play, and I knew that he was going to be something special this year. We talked about this on our pregame shows. He's just got it. Deontay Thompson got NFL written all over him. 92.3. That's an incredible grade out. Trayvon Diggs, another corner for Alabama, 71.4. A guy who has made improvements year over year. Last year, remember, he lost his spot to Levi Wallace, but this year he's on the field, seeing a lot of playing time. like the other defensive backs, is going to have his hands full this week, and it's time to step up. Mac Wilson, I'm really surprised at that grade. What is it, 60.6? Very low for Mac Wilson. It'd be interesting to see what he does moving forward. I'm just really puzzled by that grade out. And how the grades work at Pro Football Focus is they're NFL scouts that grade the players. And they're harsh. They're harsh graders. So anytime you have a player like Deontay Thompson or Tua that has these exceptional grades, I mean, that means that those guys are NFL caliber players. Raekwon Davis, 78.7. Patrick Surtain, check that out. Patrick Surtain, that's an impressive grade for a freshman. 93 total snaps already. They're getting him ready because they know, Alabama knows that they're going to need Patrick Surtain. And I don't know if you guys missed it, but Jalen Armour Davis, who Nick Saban said was the 5th defensive back in the rotation, is lost to a knee injury that he suffered last game during pregame warmup. So Patrick Surtain getting a lot of playing time in his first year at Alabama. Shaheem Carter, 78.4. Shaheem's a guy who's stepped up. Everybody saw him do his thing in fall camp during those scrimmages, and that's transitioned onto the field. Anthony Jennings, 65.0. You know what? I feel Anthony Jennings has done a really good job getting after the quarterback, but I think he has really struggled in open space. I mean, he looks slow, and there was a couple wheel routes ran by Louisville that they're going to be in trouble if they face some teams who utilize those outside linebackers that can't move that well. And Anthony Jennings is certainly one that he can get after the quarterback, but he might need to be swapped out on some of these 3rd and long type plays. LeBron Ray, 71.9. I think he's a player that's really coming along. I really like what I see from LeBron Ray. And then Dylan Moses down there with the 56.1 through 2 games. Dylan's got to pick it up. But the thing about Dylan, he's a sophomore, and I think everybody has extremely high expectations for him, especially me. I think Dylan Moses is going to be a big-time linebacker at Alabama, so that grade's low, but let's track that grade as we move forward because I really feel that Dylan Moses is going to shine moving forward. I mean, he's just an exceptional athlete. All right, here we go. So Kyle Henderson coming to you from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Going to turn the line back on right now. I want to get your thoughts on this Ole Miss game. I want to get your thoughts on the grades. Whatever you guys want to talk about, call in 205-686-3604. Big weekend as Alabama opens up SEC play. Game is at 6 p.m. in Oxford, Mississippi. My first time in Oxford. I got a chance to go to Starkville last year, and it was loud. Starkville is probably one of the loudest stadiums that I went to last year. They have those cowbells, and they have like a sign on their scoreboard when not to ring the cowbells. I didn't even know you could ring cowbells at college football games, and that game was loud. And Mississippi State brought it last year. They have a nice quarterback. Call into the line 205-686-3604. I want to hear from you tonight regarding this matchup with Ole Miss. Checking out the comment boxes as well, and I appreciate all the feedback that you guys are giving me on the comment box and all the call-ins. So I see you. Unofficial assistance, Moses will deliver. It's early. I totally agree with that. It's way too early for him. I think he's a guy that's gonna really shine this year. Other matchups, you got LSU and Auburn. That's going to be a great game. I hope I get a chance to check that one out as well. It'll be Auburn's already been playing some big guns, right? Play Washington to open it up, and then taking on LSU. Ed Orgeron and his crew look pretty stout to open up the year. 205-686-3604. Taking your calls. Be on for a little bit more, and then we'll catch you guys back on BamaInsider.com. We got a ton of coverage. You can read my deep dive from on Tua Tagovailoa that I put up today. Tony Tsoukalis has a Know the Foe that you can read about, kind of the comparisons between Alabama and Ole Miss, and then Andrew Bone always got it locked down on the recruiting scoop. 205-686-3604. Leave the lines open for just a few more minutes, and then I'll edge on out. And I think what I'm going to do, I want to get some feedback on this right here. So Sunday, I'm going to drive back from Oxford that night, right? I'm going to wake up, be super tired. And the morning shows that I do at 10 a.m., because I like to do a Sunday call-in show, they haven't been as successful as I would hoped. I think it has to do with Arkansas State they played, right? They blew out. But I'm going to try to change the time into the afternoon slot. So I'm going to do because I'm going to be tired as well. So I'm going to do that Sunday show, I think around 4 o'clock Central Time, give everybody a chance to wake up, digest the game a little bit, and then we can talk about our call-in show being in the afternoon. And I think Sunday afternoon might be a good time for us to sleep, have lunch, go to church, and then talk football as we close out and get ready for next weekend's matchup, which will be against Texas A&M. In that game, I cannot wait to see Jimbo Fisher and company come on in to Bryant-Denny and see what Texas A&M could do. As you saw, Texas A&M and Clemson, that was close. And I think Alabama's already a 21-point favorite against Texas A&M. And if you want to clean up, that might be easy money. That's a big spread for Texas A&M, who's looked a little bit improved from last year under Jimbo Fisher. 205-686-3604. Call in, leave the line open for just a few more minutes, and I'll close it out. Hope you guys have a good Friday, and be safe traveling if you guys are going to Oxford, Mississippi. See you guys on the road. As I always do towards the end of the show, I like to say, be good people out there. Be good to each other. And if you are in the United States military, civilian salute from our staff. We greatly appreciate what you do for this great country. And, there's no better place to live and to talk football and to talk with you guys than right here in the great United States of America. So civilian salute to all those that have served past or present from wherever you guys are. I'll end the show tonight. And you guys can always watch the show. Be sure and like, comment, subscribe, and catch all our coverage at BamaInsider.com. Thank you so much for all the calls tonight. I had a good time talking Alabama football with you. Catch me on BamaInsider.com. My email is kyle@BamaInsider.com if you want to learn more about becoming a premium subscriber on BamaInsider.com. From Tuscaloosa, Alabama, this is the Talk of Champions, BamaInsider.com. My name's Kyle Henderson. I'll catch you guys next time. Be good people. I'm out. See ya.